guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here to try to do a little video about how to read a crochet pattern. There was somebody that is subscribed to me that has trouble reading patterns. So I was going to try to do a little how-to video and try to help anyone that may have trouble reading crochet patterns. I will go over all the abbreviations. I will go over some of the different stitches and techniques abbreviations, and all of the other stuff that's included. So first off, these are the commonly used abbreviations, and this is in alphabetical order. Now, alternate is ALT. And what actually these abbreviations are for is if a pattern read out the whole word, like these, it would be a mile long, and that's a lot of reading. It'd be like reading a book. But they try to abbreviate all these words to make it shorter. So once you actually understand and know what you're looking for and looking at, it would be easier to read, I think. So let's go over the commonly used abbreviations. So the first one is ALT, which stands for alternate. Approx is approximately. Beg is beginning. Bet is between. CC is contrasting color. CH-SP is chain space. CL stands for cluster. CONT stands for continue. DEC stands for decrease. FO stands for finished object. Fall is following. FP is front post. INC is increase. INCL is include, including, or inclusive. LP means loop. Capital M, capital C stands for main color. P stands for picot or picot, however you say it. PAT stands for pattern. PC stands for the popcorn stitch. Prev is previous. Rem is remaining. Rep is repeat. RND stands for round. RNDS stands for rounds. Capital R and capital S stand for right side. SH stands for shell. SK stands for skep. SM is slip marker. SP stands for space. SPS stands for spaces. TOG, which is tog, stands for together. Capital W, capital S means wrong side. YD means yard. And YO means yarn over. Okay, so these are the commonly used ones, and I've also seen in other people's patterns where they had a different abbreviation that is not in the commonly used. Now, if you take the pattern that I designed, the Striped Wings Granny Shawl, my abbreviations for the pattern read Magic Ring stands for MR, double crochet is a DC, chain is CH, skip is SK, space is SP, stitches or stitch is ST/STS. First means, the first, instead of actually spelling out first, I put first 1 ST. Okay, so let's go on to other abbreviations. Let me change hands here. I can't turn the page. Okay, so the next page of abbreviations are of stitches and techniques. Let me go over these. BL can stand for back loop or block or bobble, and it all depends on the context it's in. Capital B, capital L, and capital O means back loop only. BO stands for bobble. Capital B, capital P is back post. Capital B, capital P, lower DC stands for back post double crochet. Capital B, capital P, DTR stands for back post treble crochet, double treble crochet, sorry. Capital B, capital P stands for half double crochet. Capital B, lowercase sc stands for back post single crochet. Capital B, capital P, lowercase t and r stands for back post treble crochet. CH stands for chain or chain stitch. DC stands for double crochet. DC 2 tog means double crochet 2 stitches together. That's where you decrease, where you're turning 2 stitches into 1. DTR means double treble crochet. EDC means extended double crochet. Capital EHDC stands for extended half double crochet. ESC stands for extended single crochet. Capital E and lowercase tr, extended treble crochet. Capital F, capital L stands for front loop only. Capital F, capital L, capital O stands, front loop, and then front loop only, sorry. Half, now this could be wrote 2 different ways, these two. They could say half DC, which stands for half double crochet, or HDC stands also for half double crochet. Now, this one is where you would do a decrease also. HDC 2 tog. That's half double crochet 2 stitches together. PC stands for popcorn stitch. PS stands for puff stitch. SC, single crochet. SC 2 tog means single crochet 2 stitches together. That's also a decrease. SL, ST means slip stitch. ST is stitch. STS is stitches. TBL is through back loop. TCH is turning chain. TR means treble crochet or triple crochet depending on where you live. TRTR is a triple treble crochet. YOH stands for yarn over hook. Now, these are just some of the basic abbreviations for stitches and techniques. So let's go over some of the ways a pattern would look. Now, this is what a pattern would look like. And for someone that don't know how to read a pattern, this looks like a foreign language probably. So you would look at it and it would be like CH2 and turn 2DC. And if you don't understand all these abbreviations, you don't know what they're saying. So let me go over this part. This is what it would be. Now the CH and turn means chain 2 and turn. 2DC in first ST means 2 double crochets in first stitch. Chain 1, that means chain up 1, or CH1 means chain 1. 3DC means 3 double crochets. CH2 means chain 2. 3DC in chain 2 space means 3 double crochets and chain 2 space. chain 1 means chain 1, or CH1 means chain 1. And then 3 DC and last ST means 3 double crochets in last stitch. Now this is actually part of my pattern that I designed, so showing this pattern does not have any copyright or anything because it's a pattern I designed. So now also another thing, when you look at a pattern, you'll see these little commas. That's just sectioning off each part of a pattern. It's telling you to do one thing here, and then it goes to the next thing to do, then the next, then the next, then the next. And it kind of separates out each portion. So that's why there's a comma there. Now, the next thing you might see is little parentheses or brackets or even stars. This was a mistake. I was trying to draw this. I've seen this in a pattern too. Now, this means parts of a pattern may have sections like these that are parts you repeat until a certain point or to the end of the pattern. Now, I will go over this more in a minute. Now, some patterns may say for round or row 15, repeat round 7. That means for row 15, you would just go back to the instructions for row 7 and use that for row 15. So, like if it says repeat row 15, repeat row 7 on row 15. You just look back at the instructions for row 7 and you do that on row 15. And then, let me explain. Rows are worked back and forth. Round are worked to form a tube with no seam. Just like a hat. A hat is kind of like a tube. Or, like working in the round. So let me go back to the brackets and parentheses and stars a little more. Okay, so now the stars in my pattern, I actually used these to do my repeats because I didn't have many, so I didn't use stars, but I could have. Now, star to star means that section in the pattern of these stars are to be repeated in order until the end of the row. So, and then you also have star, double star, and a star. This means this portion right here, you work first. Then this portion, you would work when you reach the end of the row. So if you repeat this from the beginning of the pattern to almost the end, at the end, you would stop and then do this part. So these stars from here to here mean your repeat for the pattern. Now brackets, these, you might see these in between a section. And what that is, they are telling you how many times to repeat a part before moving on. Now I made an example here. Single crochet in next 4 single crochets, chain 1. Now here's the brackets, and you do this and it will tell you how many times to repeat it. This says skip next single crochet, shell in next single crochet 2 times. So you would single crochet in the next 4 single crochets, chain 1, and then skip next single crochet, shell in next single crochet twice. You would do that twice, then move on to chain 1, 1 single crochet and last 4 stitches. So that the brackets actually give you a repeat and how many times to do it before moving on to the rest of the pattern. Now usually these little lines tell you how many stitches should be worked in a stitch or a chain space. Now, like in my pattern, I used these parentheses for my repeat, but in somebody else's pattern, it would be something like this: 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space. So that this section would be worked in a chain 2, or maybe in a double crochet if that said DC, in DC. So, and then in my pattern, I also had said the part in the parentheses like this, they are like that. And I state the number of how many stitches you would have in one row. Like 12 DC would be at the end of the row, you should have 12 double crochets. So, and in this pattern, I also state chain 2 at the beginning of every row counts as a double crochet throughout the pattern. First stitch of the first double crochet row. When I refer to last stitch of the row, it is the chain 2 from previous row, not the last double crochet. And then I also state that the point of the shawl will always be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So those are not in brackets like how this would be, because I stated in my instructions that that point would always be in this area right here. So also, when you read patterns, they also expect you to always know how to start the row. If it just says chain 15, they would automatically know that you know how to do a slip knot. But in my pattern, I also stated I use the magic ring. Now, like for the very first row, I did state start with magic ring, so that they knew what and how to begin it with. I hope this has helped. If you think I've missed anything, please let me know. And I really hope this has helped some people out to understand reading patterns for crochet. Please give me some feedback. Let me know. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. And please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye for now.